What I really like about God's creation is the beauty of the world.
If adults don't do something, I hear it's going to be a really hot planet.
It really is our future.
It's just taking care of our common home we all share.
We're all in this together.
Praise to you, my Lord, through our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains and governs us. I'm Archbishop of Cincinnati, Dennis Schnurr, and I greet you with this ancient prayer from St. Francis of Assisi's Canticle of the Creatures. Pope Francis also used these words to call upon every person living on the planet to praise our Creator by caring for His earth, our common home. I call upon all of us to honor this gift of creation by acknowledging the urgency of our environmental challenges and committing to lasting solutions. In the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, many parishes, schools, and religious communities are increasing their stewardship of the earth, and our Archdiocesan Climate Change Task Force supports them through faith formation and energy efficiency programs, as well as advocating for greater environmental protections. It is my hope that Catholics and all people of goodwill will join our efforts. Together we can all do a little more to protect the earth, individually, in our workplaces, in our houses of worship, and as faithful citizens.
So the Archdiocese of Cincinnati began to raise the priority of its interest in caring for God's creation, and especially focusing on the issue of climate change back in 2009. And really, since the book of Genesis, our faith has been teaching us that we have a command from God to both till and to keep the earth. We till the earth in order to support human flourishing, to advance the lives and dignities of every human person that's ever been born and that's to be born.
I think it is extremely important as we look towards the future, towards the next generation, that we provide an environment that they can live in healthily and happily. The United Nations definition of sustainability is to live within the means of our own generation, but also to leave behind us a sustainable world for others. And I think as we look at the children of today, it's a little scary for them to look at the world we're leaving for them, because there doesn't seem to be a collaborative action on the part of everyone, or a realization on the part of everyone, that our lifestyle is simply not sustainable.
Sustainability is about living within your means today while allowing future generations to do the same. It's really looking out for the born, the unborn. As they mature, they have their own quality of life that is equal to ours. It's a life issue.
I'm a father of a 2-year-old, and that's given a real urgency to this work for Care for Creation. It's also given a new joy to the work because I get to do it with my son. I want to see a world where kids like him, and kids all over the world really, can enjoy the gifts of creation, can enjoy health and well-being. We've already seen signs of climate change in our city, heat waves, major storms that do impact the lives of people, the lives of children, the lives of families. And if we don't continue to address them, those issues could worsen. And as a father, I want to see the best for our children.
Their entire futures depend on what we do. So with that motivation, we felt that the issue of climate change was of particular concern to the human species. Like it or not, we have technologically advanced to the point that we have the power to alter the very climate that has sustained this planet for millions of years. And so it's our responsibility to till and to keep the earth in a way that also protects the climate.
All of us want the best for our children, and of course I want for my daughter a planet in which she could have a good environment, she could have access to food, access to clothing, access to home, but we need to care for our environment and our planet in order for our children and their children to have access to a nice world in which they have access to their basic needs at least.
What we pledge as an archdiocese is that we will do 5 things to help protect, to till, and to keep the earth in a responsible way. That is to pray, to learn, to assess, to act, and to advocate. The Climate Change Task Force is organized along the 5 pillars of the St. Francis Pledge. And so we have teams of members who are focused on resourcing parishes and communities in the Archdiocese, on praying for care for God's creation. We have members who are focused on the educational aspect, so the task force can offer parishes and communities formation in understanding our church's teaching around care for God's creation. We have assessment, helping parishes find the right resources to assess their facilities as well as their own household footprint. To act, to connect them to the right resources and partnerships that hopefully can help a parish overcome maybe some of those upfront capital hurdles and invest in energy efficiency wherever appropriate. And lastly, to advocate. We have a very strong advocacy team that is regularly meeting with public policy makers. We can resource parishes in helping understand what is the church calling for.
We're a parish that recently merged 4 parishes into an urban environment, and taking a look at the footprint of the parish, we also understood that we had to reduce our utility bills, and one of the ways to do that is to go green. And what ways could we do that? So part of the staff attended the task force energy summit that they had at Good Shepherd, and we've gone on to take a look at changing lights and doing whatever we can, and having our local energy company come out and do a study for us to see how we could reduce that footprint, at least in those facilities that we own.
Getting involved in environmental issues to care for God's creation and take action on climate change and energy issues. Draw on the resources of the task force and just see what will continue to grow. There is a growing network of small communities of people engaged, and lots are accessing the Climate Change Task Force and the great resources of movements through our state, our Catholic Climate Covenant, like Earth Connection and the Marianist Environmental Education Center. All of these are here for us to really support our growth together. We each can make a difference. God will do the rest. We're really growing our community of faith and justice together, and we can change the world starting right here in our local parish, our Archdiocese, and it'll spread. Just like seeds that are planted will continue to grow and multiply.
A wonderful example of Catholic commitment to living lightly on this earth is Earth Connection. A ministry of the Cincinnati Sisters of Charity, Earth Connection was founded by Sister Paula Gonzalez, a biologist and nationally recognized sustainability leader. Under the leadership of our Climate Change Task Force team members Sister C.J. Willie and also Sister Winnie Brubach, Earth Connection provides a wide variety of fascinating environmental programs. People from all over come to this visionary place of reflection and learning.
Don't hesitate to call downtown and talk to Tony. Don't hesitate to talk to any of the members of the task force. Ask them to come in and talk about your plant, what's going on there, how you might make things different. Everything we do, we try to get energy savers whenever we change windows or doors or machines like the boilers. And how can we get in touch with people who know about these things? Who helps you find the green elevator? Who helps you develop these things? The task force, I think, is available to make contacts for people, to actually bring the diocese closer together and working to preserve all of creation.
We've also entered into a relationship with the National Catholic Climate Covenant. And what this program is, an effort to help parishes in a more streamlined and resourceful way do facility upgrades, to help do audits of their facilities so that they can identify what needs to be improved, and to connect them with the resources to do lighting retrofits, HVAC replacements, all those kinds of things that are going to help a facility use the resources of this earth much better and, in the end, lower their utility bills as well.
One of the things that I personally am proudest about is I'm a member of the parish of St. Monica St. George in Newman Center. We, as a Franciscan parish, have certainly picked up on the teaching of Francis and care for creation. And in the last 2 years, we have installed solar panels that are on top of our parish center and on our maintenance building, which is now providing electricity through solar panels to the church, the rectory, the parish center. We also have LED lighting all over, and it has had significant impact on not just the budget in terms of our electric costs, but it certainly has embodied the spirit of the parish to do what we can to help the environment and to care for God's creation.
We give thanks for the gift of creation, and our commitment to respect all human life obliges us to safeguard it for all peoples, especially for future generations yet to be born. Thank you for all you do to protect the earth and all those who depend upon it. One person at a time, we can better care for our common home. Through our actions, let us join all God's creatures in giving praise.